welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, we wrap up Week 3 with a good Monday nighter here between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Throwing Jones.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
They find some open field here. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
A part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now, on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They go to Elliott again. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now Prescott on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Giants are going to get the football back.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line.
It was Osa Odighizuwa on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And this throw will be intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
following the interception. Here's Prescott.
And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas.
A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season.
And the Cowboys take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys.
Makes the score Cowboys 7, Giants 0.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Jones. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter.
Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And it's now 14-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
From the 6. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now Jones.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Anthony Barr.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense has been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Well, this defense for the Cowboys, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Off the play fake. Jones. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Jones throwing on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And this defense will take over right at midfield.
4th down, and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise. But how about the coverage? They're able to bat it down.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
And from the shotgun, he'll throw.
Flushed out right.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
(21-0) our score after 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places,
and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones steps away to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Out of the gun, here's Prescott.
He's got his man, Schultz, coming across the formation. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
And a manageable third down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 30. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
On 2nd and very short, Prescott. Down inside the 10. Touchdown! 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's Jones. A final shot before break. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
A final shot before break. Jones. And now here is another interception. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
From the 27, Prescott able to hit his target, Lamb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here's Brian Anger now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They begin with a run by Barkley. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Barkley. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. I don't know that you've got a wealth of options here now. 3rd down from your 2.
The question is, how much confidence do you actually have in various aspects of your team? In your defense, in case things go wrong. In your quarterback to take care of the football. Your offensive line to protect it. If you're feeling pretty confident about all those things, you might take a shot right here.
Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And they work this out past the 25. 25 yards that time.
Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Barkley unable to get away on the 1st down run as he'll be stopped for a loss of a couple. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Back to throw. Jones.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now it's 3rd and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he is going to have the Giants 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll send the tight end in motion left. On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go.
The Giants on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. Gano's kick is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Prescott looks to throw on first. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Cowboys. Oh, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Graham Gano on for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. A pretty big opening there on first down. 8 yards up to the 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Prescott from the gun.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. On the return, Jackson. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Jones now on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now,
and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Marr now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the 6.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Jones. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete.
And he is going to have the Giants first down on what will be a big play there on 4th and long.
A first down carry for Barkley. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And now here is another interception.
And the Cowboys come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Dallas, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season.
And they will head home for next week's contest. That is against Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Giants, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears.